The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Two of my friends who I consider the most talented, and when I say that, I truly mean it, are here today. One just walked out the door. His name is Darren Criss. Erich Bergen has so much talent. Do you get tired of people saying, you're so talented?
No.
I mean, because what does it mean? What does it mean you're so talented?
What does it mean? I don't know. It means I don't know.
Well, then I'll tell them.
You tell them.
Okay, to see you do your thing on Madam Secretary.
Yeah.
You know what? The character you play is her assistant.
Yes, it's Madam's secretary.
It is.
Yes.
But you are just so great at it. And the thing is I know you and I see you as in that character.
Yes.
Just when I saw you on Broadway in Waitress.
You didn't see me as a different character in that?
Well, it's a different character, but I still see the essence of you in each of these characters.
Yes.
And I think that's a talent. That's an extreme talent where you see Erich Bergen in these characters.
Well, I tend to only do gigs that I have fun at. I've never wanted to do a long run or anything where it's this, dark, dramatic. I will one day when I become, kind of depressed and an alcoholic. We'll get there. But,
okay.
But I think for right now, I'm having so much fun. I'm just putting it out there. But right now, I'm having so much fun. And Madam Secretary makes me laugh every single day that we're on set. It's the most incredible cast and crew. And we also cover a lot of dark topics, so we try to have as much fun as possible. And then, of course, Waitress is just a silly good old time.
Well, how many seasons? Fifth season of Madam?
We're filming our fifth season, and the season, I know, it's crazy. Season premiere is October 7th on CBS.
And how long were you doing Waitress?
I just did Waitress for about 2.5 months during my summer hiatus. From Madam Secretary. But then it was kind of summer hiatus because I had a month of overlap where I was getting up at 5 a.m. filming and then running to the theater.
That's too much.
Well, it was, yeah.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Yes, it was a little crazy.
I will tell you, Daniel, as you know, Erich also became very, very, very well known in the business from Jersey Boys.
Yeah.
But you didn't play Jersey Boys on Broadway, so when you did Waitress, this was actually technically your first Broadway.
It was.
thing.
Yeah, there's this. I did Jersey Boys, the national tour, and then I opened it in Las Vegas, and I did it in Vegas for 2 years, and then I did the movie. But there is this thing about when you do a show and you say, oh, you did it on Broadway, and you say, no, I did it in Los Angeles. People go, oh. As if it's not. It's like it's the exact same production. Right. There were people from the Broadway cast in our show. It's in a theater bigger than the Broadway theater,
right?
And yet
with better concessions,
right? Exactly, and everyone's happier because they live in California, and you know what I mean. Really? Oh, come on! I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I can say that. Go to California, everyone's very, very happy.
It's true.
Yeah.
Can't find it in Florida. Can't find it in New York.
No. You walk out your door in New York, it's like, you walk out in L.A. in the morning, it's like, hey, how are you?
It's because they're always eating tofu and stuff.
Yes, of course. So, but there is this weird thing that it's like you have to actually do Broadway. So I lost my Broadway virginity this summer thanks to Sarah Bareilles.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, so talk about this, because I love talking about Broadway and the theater, the stage, and technically Broadway. These, and you notice it yourself, these theaters, these beautiful old theaters. I mean, there are hundreds of them, actually, and most of them have been renovated, and they're beautiful when you're sitting in the seats. When you're backstage, where Erich's or any of these Broadway stars' dressing rooms are, it's like walking through a cave with dripping water and moss. It's not pretty.
No, in fact, a lot of people get, especially when you're on the road and you're playing these old theaters, or even if some of them are newer, they're still older, these theaters on the road, if you're on a national tour, and you just get sick because you go from city to city and you're getting new mold each week.
Oh,
and as
it's
a singer, that was my band in college, by the way, New Mold.
New Mold. They opened it for Pearl Jam.
Yeah. And wait, I wasn't in college when Pearl Jam was a thing. Wait a minute.
How old are you?
I don't want to. 32.
Why is that such a thing for actors?
No. I embrace my 32 years oldness. I just had a thing that happened recently where some guy came up to me and he was like, I was at a party with friends and there was this guy who was in his first Broadway show and he was like, I guess he was like 21 or 22, which I consider to be like an adult age. That's like a real person. And he just went up to me. He's like, Mr. Bergen. I said, first of all, you don't call me Mr. Bergen. That's no. And second of all, what? And he says, I just have to say, you really inspired me. I grew up watching you. And you really inspired me to be a performer in the theater. I said, well, that's not possible because we're the same age. So that's not. And I didn't know his age at the time. I was like, wait, how old are you? He's like 22. I was like, okay, but still. And I realized, when I was doing Jersey Boys in San Francisco, which is where he's from and he saw it, he was 10.
You're
and
old,
I
man.
wasn't.
They do that to us all the time.
Imagine being our age, my age, when people say, "Hey, my grandkids listen to you." I listened to you growing up.
Can I tell you something? This is I said before, I'm a born and raised New Yorker. This morning means a lot to me because
Why is that?
Because I listen to you every single morning on the way to school. Because I was born and raised here in Manhattan and went to high school in the city, New York City public high school the whole time. And this is what I listen to on the way to
Making
work.
us feel old, Eric.
This is when the studio was in Jersey, right?
Yeah. We were Jersey boys.
Yeah. See, and I listened back in the day when you wouldn't stop playing. I'm blue and da dee da 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 dee da. Oh man, I wanted to kill you then.
Me too. I still want to kill me. Hey, another thing I must say about Eric, his voice is just incredible. Of course, if you saw him in Waitress for his stint, very, very popular stint he did this summer, you heard it. But here's how I got to know Eric, and then we all got to know him. You contacted me and said, hey, this is right after George Michael had passed away, or shortly after. He said, we want to do a concert and raise money for, I believe it was Music in the Schools.
Yeah, VH1 Save the Music.
Save the Music.
Yeah.
We want to do a George Michael tribute concert, and I want you to come be a part of the hosting. And I was like, this is Erich Bergen? Really? I mean, I knew who you were and what you do, and I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, how do you even know who I am? And that's when you said you grew up listening to us. That show.
That was amazing. That show was amazing.
You had such an incredible talent. But Eric, when you sang, did you do Father Figure?
I did, yeah.
It was un-effing awesome.
Oh,
do it
thanks.
right now.
It's a little early to sing George's notes. That was an incredible
Why
night.
did you think, well, this is an opportunity, we can help out some kids and schools? I mean, what was it that made that connection for you?
For me, I've always loved putting money towards arts, especially for kids who somehow, for whatever reason, arts has become an elitist thing that all of a sudden only people who have money are able to get to the arts, which I've never understood. Considering
you went to public school, so
I went to
know
public
the
school,
other side.
and I was lucky enough to have a pretty good arts program growing up. But I also went to theater camp in the summer and things like that. But I've always been under I was a terrible student, and how I understood math was learning music theory and things like that. And it also gave me something that I was good at in school that I could understand, and I could apply that same way of learning to other forms of education. It really got me through school. So to me, I want to make sure that it's not just about giving back. It is no. This really worked for me. It's like spreading Scientology. It's like that. It's like, no, do this. Put arts into the schools, and I promise you will have a better school system. So I always look for opportunities to do that. And I think when stars like George Michael or Michael Jackson or people like that who have obviously the talent, but they also have a controversial side, when they die, all of a sudden the attention goes to that part of their life, the messy part of their life.
And as with George Michael's passing, it did.
It did.
Somewhat.
And we forget that it's not just father figure or one. You go back and listen to all those records. He was a genius musician and lyricist. And I think with a lot of popular music, especially if it's a little dated, we tend to kind of throw it out like, oh yeah, I remember that song. It's like, no, go back and actually listen to the string arrangement on those songs, and go back and listen to the production on those songs. So for me, as a pop music nerd, doing George's music with an orchestra and doing it full out, that was just a fun way to do it. I didn't know if people were going to show up, and we sold out within well, you said I'm going to keep talking about this on my show in the morning until it's sold out. And it was sold out in 2 days. Awesome. So it was great. It was just an incredible night, and we raised a lot of money.
Which made me sad because I ran out of things to talk about. I was like, God,
I wish that show marry George Michael.
Yeah, she did.
He didn't think that about you.
I don't think so either.
No. You should have known.
Which brings us to today.
Yes.
Eric got in touch with me. I'm not going to. You sent me an email or a text. What was it?
Probably an email. because you don't respond to texts.
Are you kidding?
Oh, see, he's not the only one.
I don't feel so bad now.
You're such an ass. I don't respond to anything. I'm sorry. Did someone say something? Erich Bergen. I don't want to be too.
The best way to get in touch with Elvis is offer him a gig, and then he's like right there.
Don't call him. He doesn't pick up the
No,
phone.
no. Just put his name on a poster, and then he'll show up.
That's it.
I think you called me. Anyway, Eric says, look, I did a song. I recorded a song. I wrote this song, and it's a very personal song. And I'm trying to remember. I think you said it would be such an honor to be able to come up to your show and play this song. I mean, okay. I mean, sure. I mean, why would I debate that? So, I mean, is this song out? Is it released?
Today it's out everywhere. It's out on Spotify.
Oh, today's the day.
Today it's release day. Spotify and Apple Music and everything and things like that. All the iTunes, everything.
And I want you to tell this story before we play it.
Is that now?
I don't know. It's a straight natives in there. Just like, what are you doing in there? Playing with yourself?
Can you tell the story about how he wrote the song?
But wait a minute. Hold on. Nate, we have a certain amount of time with Erich Bergen. But I want to be able to breathe and have a story leading to the song and then play the song. But if we spend all of our time doing the game, which is fun, I don't want it to eat away at what's most important in my opinion.
The game will be fast.
Speak higher.
Yeah, he does that. He goes into falsetto when he has no clue.
You're wasting like 30 seconds right now. Get to the game.
Oh my God! Is everyone here Jewish? I just double checking that everyone in this room is Jewish. Because just one. Oh wow, this is very shocking. All right.
Get to the game now. You'll have like.
I can't hear you. Speak into a microphone. That's how the technology works.
Game now. You'll have like 8 minutes for the song and the story. I promise.
All right.
Is that enough time?
I can do it.
Turn his mic. I don't like it when the guest's mic is hotter than mine. Don't you love radio?
I love it.
You should do a live radio show.
Yes. What is the story? Well, we're
not doing that yet. We're doing the game first.
Oh.
But look, the game could be good or bad, but it's important you stick around because the story and the song are. Just trust me. You want to stay for this.
Okay.
All right.
I'll stay too.
Now, what are we doing? Oh, we're playing a game. What's it called?
Name that tune.
Oh, name that tune.
Oh, it is named that tune.
Are you good at naming tunes?
I have this party game that I do where my friends will pull up like a Spotify playlist or whatever, and they will go back to like the 80s, and they'll play the first 3 or 2 seconds of a pop song, and I'll try to guess as much information as I can.
Wow.
Now, I've said that, and now I'm mortified and petrified that I've accepted a very bad idea.
No. I don't think it's bad at all. Now, who's playing?
I guess I'm playing.
Scary's playing?
Well,
I wish I
because
could
I
play
was
because I'm really good at this music.
Well,
the thing, I already know what it is because I saw the song.
Oh, okay.
Song pop was my thing, on the game that's on the app,
Yeah.
And I love I can hear like a one or two
Okay, blah, blah,
beats.
blah. Here we go.
All
One
right.
or two beats, and I
So
got it.
how does this work? Someone has to buzz in. We don't have buzzers.
Well, he's got a bell, and I have a.
Okay.
Oh.
All
Well,
right.
now I'm excited.
Let's just go real fast. Here we go.
Got it.
I didn't hear a bell.
That's Aha, Take on Me.
You have to do it in the form of a question, don't you? Oh, that's Jeopardy.
No, that's Jeopardy.
That's good.
That was good.
Okay, this is not as difficult as you thought, Eric. Okay. No, you must.
I can even name track 2 on that album, but I'm not going to.
Why is it horrible? Okay,
I
what's track 2?
Or maybe it's track 1, The Sun Always Shines on TV. Someone look it up.
I used to play that. When it was new.
Oh,
you were 10.
Okay.
All right, okay, but you have to ring the bell.
Okay, I'll ring the bell.
You have to hit the whistle.
Like Anita Ward said, ring that
my
bell.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
What?
Yo, you got it.
No, you ring the bell. What is it?
Wait, play it again.
I can't do that.
Play it one more time.
Here.
It's Ricky Martin, Livin' La Vida Loca, written by Desmond Child.
All right. Scary. Now you guys, you're
Scary,
good at the
what's going
songs. You're
on
just
there?
bad at your
You
bell.
can't play the clue to hit for him twice.
No, you're right.
What? There are the rules.
He's our guest. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, Scary.
Is that the theme from Friends?
What's the name of the song?
I'll be there for you.
Oh my God, it really is. Written by Allie Willis.
You're making up names. Written by Joe Johnson.
Allie Willis. Allie Willis wrote that song. She also wrote September for Earth, Wind & Fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you know all this?
Because I have no friends.
Can you call her and ask her what they're singing in September? Is it la-di-da, la-da-da? You know,
Yeah, that's it.
It's la-di-da?
I don't know. She has so much money from that song. Who cares?
All right. She built a house. Here we go.
Exactly.
Next song.
It's
Scary.
Dun,
Wow.
dun, dun, dun,
That is
dun, dun.
Jock from Jock Jams.
It is from Jock
Get ready
Jams.
for this, 2 Unlimited.
Nice. Nice.
We're all tied up.
Froggy likes that one.
That's a good
That
song.
that was good.
All right, here we go. Right here. Right here. Okay, here we go. And hands on buzzers. Cue talent.
Yep. Oh,
Oh,
That
that's
is
so
Be My
easy.
Lover by LaBouche.
that is so Be My Lover.
Scary.
That was so easy.
You know what? I'm not up on my LaBouche trivia.
Who wrote that one?
I don't know.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Chumbawamba, Tub Thumping.
I don't need the buzzer. You didn't ring your damn bell, but we're going to give you the point because you're our guest. By the way, in this game, you are going to win because rule number 1 is be attractive.
Yes.
I think Eric is a very attractive, handsome man.
Oh my gosh, poor Scare.
Here we go.
That's Christina.
What a Girl. No, Genie Bottle.
Christina Aguilera. What a Girl.
Gina Bottle.
In a bottle.
It's okay. You got LaBouche, which, by the way, I think is the
we
only
go.
place in the world that LaBouche was said today. Oh, that is I Saw the Sign by Ace of Base. I don't want to anymore.
He's not even attempting to ring the bell.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Oh, that's La Na Na Na. Is that Finally by CeCe Peniston?
CC
I know, we have to hurry. Yeah, there is a story, and Froggy reminds me. The station used
All
to
right,
work
give me
for,
one more.
CeCe Peniston would show up on the log, but it was too long of a name, so it said CeCe Penis.
Just give me one more.
I'm thinking, okay, all right. Here we go.
I know what it is.
What?
Well, it was sampled in the Mariah Carey song, but
You
what
go
is...
for it.
That is it.
That's fantasy. Mariah
Oh, it is.
Carey.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was the original.
All right, so what's the final score? Erich Bergen versus Scotty. Eric wins because
Eric wins, yay!
he's most
Do I
attractive.
get credit for knowing that's from the Tom Tom Club?
No.
No.
No, but you
But
do
thank you.
get all the points for LaBouche.
Thank you. La douche. We love you, Scary.
Poor Scare.
No, Scary, I love you. I'll make that with you later. All right, let's get to the song.
All right.
All right, now we had fun.
Now our Oprah moment?
Let's have an Oprah moment.
Yeah.
Tell me about this song and what is. I think we need to slowly.
Yeah, I don't mean to bring the room down.
I'm afraid we're going to come up too fast. We're going to get the bends. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We need to decompress. You didn't know your music. Why is music so important to Erich Bergen?
It was when I was a kid and I had this kind of crazy, bizarre energy. Like at 1 or 2 years old, I had that type of brain that would recognize sounds, and I just couldn't stay focused on anything. And it was music. It was seeing Michael Jackson on MTV that got me kind of focused on something. So while my career kind of ended up being in acting, music has always had a major part of my life.
And now even more major than ever, when you go through some significant points in your life and you write a song about them and record them,
Yeah.
then that leads us to where we are today.
So 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, kind of randomly, and it's like 5 years and 3 months or something like that. I'm cancer free now. So I don't know how remission works. I don't know if they say it's remission when it's happening or now it's in remission now that it's 5 years out, whatever it is. But I'm healthy. I'm good. But what happens that they don't tell you about testicular cancer, which is in most cases a very curable situation. It's just that men need to go to the doctor, and men don't go to the doctor. So men, please go to the doctor. Is that what comes after that? The anxiety and the kind of the growing up that you are forced to do and push through things. They really don't prepare you for that. They prepare you for death. They prepare you for taxes. They do not prepare you for what comes from surviving cancer.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a very bizarre headspace to be in because I stub my toe. I think I have cancer of the toe. I mean, every single thing I do, every day I wake up, there's a slight headache or something hurts in my back or something like that. I'm convinced that I'm going to have to go through chemo again.
So for all the people listening right now who have been through cancer, who are still going through and using strategy to get rid of it,
Yeah.
or survivors, whatever, they know exactly what you're talking about.
They know exactly, and that's the thing. I've talked to other people, and I've talked to friends of mine who are going through a very similar thing right now, and it's that thing of every single day becomes, you're very thankful for it, and I'm actually very thankful that I went through everything. I'm thankful in a weird way that I was diagnosed with it, because it does change your trajectory, but it throws you for such a loop, because every day becomes that can happen again. You know, I had never broken any bones. I had never had anything really health-wise wrong with me, other than I was just weird and could recognize pop songs at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
So to all of a sudden be told at the age of 27, you have cancer, there is no prep for that, and that stays with you way more than any of the chemicals that are in chemotherapy. This will stay with me longer than that stuff does. So it's a very it's a forced growing up that you are pushed through, that I was not prepared for. And I was walking down the street one day, and the first lyric of this song came to me, and I was with my father actually walking down the street when the song, and you'll hear the first lyric, and I said I have to go, and I ran home and I wrote this song in about 2 hours, and it's really all about what the past 5 years have been of my life.
And there's the story behind the story. The name of the song is Running Through the Night. You've never heard this on the radio, have you?
No, I've never had a song on the radio.
They always sound different when they're on the radio. Listen to this, Erich Bergen.
I'm getting used to seeing my father's face in the mirror.
It's Running Through the Night, Erich Bergen. For the first time on the radio. How cool is that? It's kind of a weird thing, isn't it?
It's a weird thing.
And it's weird watching someone hear their song for the first time on the radio. I'm like, do you look at him? Wow.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You got some tears in your eyes.
It's a very cool moment. It's a very cool moment. Thanks for having me.
For a lot of people. Stand Up to Cancer, by the way, tonight all over TV at 8 o'clock East Coast time. It's very fitting that you're here today talking about this. But even more than that, having you on our show, sharing this, the story, and your song, that's the gift.
Thank you. This is really a thrill. So I can't thank you enough, really, honestly.
I can see why you're thrilled. By the way, Erich Bergen in concert at Sony Hall September 30th. It's only one night. That's why you need your tickets. You can go to sonyhall.com. We'll put that information up at elvisduran.com if you can't remember it. When do we see season 5?
October 7th. We premiere on CBS at 10 p.m. as long as football doesn't get in the way. Is that I don't know sports. Is that football season then? Yeah. Okay, so there's a chance we'll be on at like midnight, but there's we have to. It pays the bills.
It's better than not.
It's better than not.
Of course, we're talking, Madam Secretary, with Erich Bergen, and thank you for coming up.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations on getting your song on the radio.
Yay!